the problem set I'm doing in this video is about angles. So I'm peeking at the lesson that comes before this problem set. And let me just review some vocab. Hopefully this is review. An acute angle is an angle that measures between 0 and 90 degrees. A right angle measures exactly at 90 degrees. An obtuse angle measures between 90 and 180. And I feel like no one uses the vocab word, but a straight angle measures 180 degrees. Okay, and then remember in the last section there was the segment addition postulate. There's an angle addition postulate too, where you can add multiple angles together. Okay, so for example, let me just use this problem set as an example, this diagram here as an example. You can find the measure of AOC, so this entire angle here, by summing up the measure of angle AOB and the measure of angle BOC. So if you know those two separately, you can add them up and get the total measure of AOC, okay? That's what the angle addition postulate says. All right, let's begin this problem set. Let's see. In the figure above, what is the value of x? Well, you can clearly see these two are, I think this comes in the next section actually, but I'll introduce it now anyway. They're supplementary, meaning these two angles add up to 180 degrees. Okay? So 40 plus x minus 90 is 180, okay? Now, this becomes x minus 50 is 180. So x is 230. Okay, let me double check that's correct. Yeah. In the figure above, what is the value of y? Okay, so we need the value of y, so we probably need that angle. But how do we get that angle? We know that this angle x, that measures x over here, and this angle that measures 5x minus 12, they are supplementary, meaning they add up to 180. So let's use that again. Okay, so x plus 5x minus 12 equals 180. They're supplementary, so 6x is 192. Okay, so x would be, what is that? That's 32, I believe. Okay, so x is 32, but we're interested in y, so if there were a choice of 32, don't choose that. Luckily there isn't in this case, so. Anyway, x and 3y minus 8 are also supplementary. Okay, so we can use that, or if you know about vertical angles already, which this section didn't talk about, these two are vertical angles, so you can solve it like that as well. I'm gonna use the supplementary one again, okay? So, x, which is 32, plus 3y minus 8, this guy is 180 degrees again. They're supplementary, they sum to 180, okay? So this is 24 plus 3y is 180, right? So 3y is, how much is that? That is 156, right? So y equals 52. Answer is A. Okay? So again, you can have used that x and 3y minus 8. These two are supplementary. Or you can use that 5x minus 12 and 3y minus 8 are vertical angles. So 5x minus 12 equals 3y minus 8, and then you can solve for y from there. Okay? In the figure above, ray OB bisects COA, angle COA. If measure of angle DOB is 11x plus 6, measure of blah, blah, blah. What's the measure of DOC? So notice I skipped reading because I'm going to have to label anyway, probably. So, ray OB bisects COA. So what does it mean when it bisects? It splits it in half. Kind of like that other problem in the other video, in the first video in this geometry unit. That midpoint bisected the line. Bisect just means that it divides it in half. Okay, so you can have something that bisects an angle as well. It divides the angle in half. Okay, so that's what they marked over here, that these two angles are congruent. Okay, if measure of DOB is 11x plus 6, so let me mark it. 11x plus 6, okay? COA is 8x minus 12. What is the measure of angle DOC, okay? So, how can we solve this? What can we do? Well, since there's multiple ways you can do this, since we know that COB is half of COA, because this guy bisects COA, so this is half of it, okay? So, we know that measure of angle was that COB is half of 8x plus 2. Or 8x minus 12, sorry. 8x minus 12 divided by 2, which is 4x minus 6. How does that help us? I know this angle. I know DOB is measure of angle DOC plus measure of angle COB, okay? I want DOC. I know COB. I know DOB. So, let's plug in. Measure angle DOC plus 4x minus 6. So, what is x, by the way? So, let me solve this first for DOC. So, this would be 7x plus 12 equals measure of angle DOC. Okay? Now, how do I get x? Is now the question. What am I missing? Or what can I use to find this thing that I'm missing? This is what I'm missing. Well, this is why I sketched it out. This plus one of this. So DOB plus BOA, they're supplementary. So let me write it out in variables. DOB plus measure of angle BOA, they're supplementary, so 180, okay? And BOA is congruent to COB, which we found. So, what's DOB? 11x plus 6 plus 4x minus 6 is 180. That means x is equal to what? Because this 6 and this 6 cancel. This is 15. X is 180. So, x is 12. Okay, now I can plug this into here. 7 times 12 plus 12, which is 8 times 12. Okay, so what is that? That's 96, right? Answer is B. Okay, so hopefully you saw the thought process. One more time. They give us DOB, I marked it. They give us COA, I marked it as well, and they already marked that COB equals BOA because this guy bisects COA, okay? The angle COA. So, I need DOC, and I realized that, well, I can do DOB minus COB. That's this line here, okay? What is COB though? Because we know DOB, what's COB though? COB is half of this, COA. Because again, they told us that OB bisects it. Bisects COA. So COB is half of COA, which is there, okay? But I needed my X still, so how do I get that? I realized that DOB plus BOA, they're supplementary. So it sums up to 180, and I can get my X from there. Okay, so if you get stuck, you should, honestly, if you have time, and you got to the other problems and you're left with this, for example, try something, and you might see the lights after you tried few things. So you can see that I started trying, right? But I was still missing this guy, so that I had to go back to see how to get it. Okay? In the figure above, ABE is 120, and CBD is 135. What is the measure of DBE? Okay? So let's mark them carefully, or maybe they did already. ABE is 120. ABE, yeah. CBD, what's CBD? CBD, that's this one, okay? Okay, DBE. Okay, so this is like the segment problem I did in the other video. We know that measure of angle ABE, this guy, plus measure of angle CBD, okay? If you add these two, so first of all, from here to here, to be 180 degrees, you're short this much, right? So this part includes it, but it includes an extra this much over here, this turn over here. So there's an extra dBE. So if I subtract that, then I would have 180. Okay? This is similar to that segment problem I did, as I was saying, okay? Now can we plug in things? Because we need this. So measure of angle DBE is, if I move that, it'll be 120 plus 135 minus 180. Okay? So what is that? That is 255 minus 180. So what is that? That is 75 or 65? 75. I was trying to do it in my head, but then there was no 65, so it had to be 75. All right? And that's it for this video. Hopefully this was good practice, and once again, hopefully you saw my problem-solving mindset in this, okay? Again, there was not much to memorize in this section, honestly, so it's about problem-solving. That's most of geometry, honestly, it's about problem-solving. All right, please like and subscribe as always if you found this helpful.